Find out about the Talen family. It's one of the big unresolved mysteries in the My Vampire System universe. The web novel is completed, but Quinn never found out about the mysteries of the Talen family. Why fear? DMtv Motivation is here. Even though Quinn never discovered it, I'm going to explain it. Actually, one of my viewers asked me to make a video about Quinn's bloodline, and here I am explaining the whole Talen family history and mystery for you. I spend so much time reading these stories and making videos, so please show some support by subscribing to my channels. Before starting the video, I want to warn you, there will be many spoilers. There isn't much directly about the Talen family in My Vampire System, but there are other web novels written by the same author, JKS Manga, so you might get many spoilers from A Dragon's Revenge. Watch at your own risk. And now, let's get into our topic, the mysteries of the Talen family. The Talen family is a royal family, which Ray, Zane, and Quinn are a part of. It's also a family that got involved several times with systems. The first known family member was Jack Talon, an adventurer of the Allure Kingdom, located in the east of the Bronze Land continent on planet Earth. He met Scarlett Talen, a noblewoman and family leader candidate of the Kroon Empire. Later, Jack and Scarlett got married and then settled in a mining village south of the kingdom. That is where Ray Talen was born. Ray was actually a dragon named Sen. He was killed but reincarnated by the goddess Bliss, who hoped he would save the Bronze Land continent from the Shadow Plague. So, the dragon Sen died and reincarnated as Ray Talen. When Ray was 5 years old, his father Jack Talon returned infected with the Shadow Plague and slowly lost his mind. He eventually fell completely under the possession of the shadow dragon Crad, became a true infected, and had to be killed by Ray because there was no way to overcome the possession. Crad was the one who created the shadow power that Quinn later inherited in My Vampire System. Ray managed to be the first to reclaim lost territory from the Shadow Continent, and even defeated the Shadow Plague once and for all by slaying the Shadow Dragon Crad. This was the time when the first original vampires were created, and Richard Eno was also with Ray's group. I have explained this in another video. Later, Ray married Sylvia Hart and had a son. Ray decided to leave behind everyone he knew when he recovered his original dragon body, so he most likely never raised his heir, although he watched his descendants grow. The Talen family passed down the draconic blood that remained dormant inside them, due to Ray being the dragon Sen. However, after Richard Eno's bloodline mixed with the Talen bloodline through his descendant Vincent Eno, it became from then on a mixed draconic and vampiric bloodline. Normally, a vampire like Vincent Eno would have been unable to reproduce with a human, but he used his equivalent exchange ability to seal his vampiric powers in a system, making him the first vampire to have human offspring. He married Katie Talon, and they had children. There is a long story about how and why Vincent Eno married Katie Talon. If you want to know more, let me know in the comments. When his wife died, Vincent decided to combine the system into the book with his vampire powers and leave it for his son, along with an explanation of his history. However, the cost was greater than expected, and his consciousness was also transferred into the book. There are other Talen family members in other stories too, like Zane Talen from Level Up Zombie. And then in the 27th century, there was a couple, Finley and Isabella Talon. They had a son named Quinn, our main character in the My Vampire System universe. Finley and Isabella died when Quinn was only 10 years old, during the First Dalkey War. The last known member of the Talen family is Galen Talon, the son of Quinn Talen and Layla Monroe, born as both a vampire and a celestial. So there you have it, the history of the Talen family. There are still many stories ongoing about the Talen bloodline. One such story, Virtual Sword God, is also ongoing. Virtual Sword God has a canonicity that may conflict with other works in the series. It might have been set a generation before Quinn Talen's, just before the First Dalkey War. It's a very interesting story, and if any new arcs come out, I'll be back with another video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next video. Until then, have a good time.